Yo, welcome in, man. Welcome in. Today is January 12th, 2022. It's your boy Chris. This is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show live again on Twitter, live on YouTube. Excuse me. Do me a favor and hit the like button for me if you guys can. Retweet the show if you guys can. Let's get as many smart people in here. Try to open it up to everybody and let them have a voice as well. Always looking to do that. And let's talk about some NBA bets that are going to cash tonight. That's what we're here for. Let's see. So where do we want to start? Oh, recap. Quick recap of yesterday. Had 7 plays that I really, really like. Call me crazy. I legit thought I was going 7-0 yesterday. I mean, as you probably should when you hit when you're taking plays, but I felt really, really confident, really, really strong in all the plays. Excuse me. Miles Turner gets ruled out the last minute. That kind of the Pacers still almost covered that game, even with Miles Turner, being rolled out 3 minutes before the game started. Also, Tyrese Halliburton, of course, got hurt, so that didn't cash. And then Vucevic, probably on the top shelf with the uncomfortable shoes. Probably not betting on that guy in a while to come. Without DeRozan yesterday, couldn't step up, and he probably will in the next game. That's the worst part. But I'm off Vucevic for a while, off of that guy for a while, for the foreseeable future. So those were the 3 misses, but we did cash on the what did I cash on? I cashed on the Atlanta Hawks team total under 112.5. Was sweaty at one point. Started off not sweaty, then it got sweaty, then it got unsweaty. So that was a cash. We cashed on that one. If you guys tell that. Also cashed on what else did I cash on without looking at my notes? I know the Denver was a trifecta spot. Well, not a trifecta spot. I didn't give out the first quarter, but I gave out the first half and the full game team total over. Those both cashed. And then what was the other play? I'm looking for one more play that we had yesterday that was a winner. Oh, the Pelicans and the Celtics. If you guys weren't here late, then you missed that play because I gave that one out as soon as I saw the news with Robert Williams, Marcus Smart, and Herb Jones being rolled out. I gave out the over 230 between the Pelicans and the Celtics, and that was it was a good cash too. So 4-3 day yesterday. Nuggets team total first half and full game both cash. So of course looking to kind of have another profitable day to back that one up. Excuse me. So far this week has been 1-in-1 day. Typically I don't give out like 2 or 3. I only give out like two or 3 plays, sometimes just one. But a lot of 1-in-1 days. So it was good to have a profitable day and see some profit turn yesterday. I didn't really play anything live either. So might have some live looks for the day, but let's get into the slate for today, man. So we only got 5 games today. So it should be 6 games today. Should be pretty easy to get through all these. I don't have a play in all of them. So I'll go through what I do have for you guys, and then we'll get to it. Like I said, hit the like button for me as you guys come in and join. And, subscribe to the video. Check me out on YouTube. DM me if you need the link for the chalkboard as always. And let's get into it, man. First game up, we have the Philadelphia 76ers laying what was 10 points is down to 9.5 on some books at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the way I look at this game is excuse me, you got pretty much a healthy squad on both teams. You get this 76ers team. This will be the last game of a 2-game homestand. They're coming off back-to-back wins against the Detroit Pistons, one in Detroit, and then of course they smacked Detroit up again the other 2 days ago. This is the last game before they start a little West Coast road trip. They go to Utah in the next game. The Oklahoma City Thunder on the opposite side lost the TNT game, but did cover the spread. We were on the right side in that one. Had the Thunder plus 2.5 in that spot. Lost the game by 1 against the Miami Heat 2 nights ago as well. So this is the Thunder's role. It's also the Sixers' role. It's really difficult to cap. The Sixers are, I think, 3-0-1 against the spread as a double-digit favorite at home. They typically cover it, but it's only by a few points. The Thunder on the opposite side, they are also 3-0 against the spread when they're catching 10 points on the road, right? Thunder perform well when they're away dog. The way I was looking at attacking this game, and I think one of the things that the market hasn't quite caught up to yet, is the Philadelphia offense. This team is they're really strong offensively. One of the things that I looked at was the Philadelphia team total over 125 and over 121.5. I think the number went up to 122.5. Matter of fact, let me check it real quick. So it's back down to 121.5. I like the 121.5. Didn't get there with it yet, but a few notes on that. So the Oklahoma City Thunder are top 10 in pace in the last 10 games. Typically, pace equals points. Oklahoma City is also bottom 10 in defense last 10 games. OKC is, I talked about it, 3-0 as an ATS as an away dog when catching 10 points or more, but they're allowing 117 and a half points in this spot. They gave up 115 to the Timberwolves, 111 to the Mavs, and 126 to the Celtics. 5 of the Oklahoma City Thunder's last 7 opponents have gone over their team totals when they have been an away dog, right? So it's not necessarily that OKC is not playing a lot of defense to cover these games. Their offense is just they're the team that's actually hitting their team total. I just don't see a way that they really slow down the Sixers offense. So moving along to the Sixers offense, since December the 1st, Philly has played 9 games at home with Embiid in the lineup. They're averaging 123 points per game in this spot. Philly, top 4 offense last 10 games as well. Top 4 offensive rating. They're averaging 122.3 in home games since December the 1st, which is the second highest in the league behind only the Kings. I think people get it confused because they think of Philly, they think about slow pace, they think about Embiid kind of slowing down the pace, but Philly plays defense that gets them out in transition and helps them to be able to score. So I actually like the over in this game. I know that it moved up a point. It was at 234. Well, I saw it open at 232. It went up to 233. Now I see it at 232.5. So some money coming back in on the under. I think Philly could be overlooking OKC just a tad bit. So which is why I kind of opted towards the team total. One thing I do think that is really interesting, and I actually played this, is looking at Philly specifically. Philly scores a bunch of points in the first half, most of the time, in majority of their games. So we know that the Thunder, they're the best third quarter team in the NBA. If people don't know, they have the biggest win margin in the third quarter in the NBA this season. We saw it the other day with the Miami Heat as well. That's typically when they come back. They let teams get out the big leads, and then they end up fighting their way back. So the Thunder have a negative 6.5 margin on the road since the start of December. So since December 1st, they're losing the first half by average of 6.5 points. While they are the best third quarter team, statistically speaking, it typically takes them a while to kind of figure it out in the first half. Hence why they're only 2-7-1 against the spread last 10 games in the first half. On the opposite side, the Sixers are plus 6.5 in the first half specifically of home games dating back to the start of December as well. So two very, very, very important. I ain't even get the banners up. Two very, very important very, very important numbers, right? Sixers winning the first half by 6.5. The Thunder losing the first half by 6.5. And like I mentioned, the Philadelphia 76ers 10-1 straight up in the first half at home. They're 6-3-1 or 7-2 ATS, depending on where you got the number in their last 10 first half. So I like Philly in the first half in this spot. I think you avoid the backdoor cover. You take them, minus the 5.5. Official play for me. Got the video for BetUS. Just hadn't had a chance to tweet it out, but I will be tweeting that out. Another thing I looked at with Embiid in for Philly, they're 12-3 against the spread and doing a lot of that damage early. They're scoring 59 points in the first half versus only 56 in the second half. Winning those 15 games by average of 6 points in the first half as well. Expect a double digit or close, something along the lines of a double-digit lead for Philly at halftime in this one. OKC coming off, come out fighting in the third quarter like they always do if the game flow, goes the way that it typically does. So favorite play for me would be Philly first half minus the 5.5. Also, really, really strong, and I might get there. I might play it smaller. Look towards Harden. I think sprinkling on his triple double in this game, just because the Thunder play at such a fast pace. Harden is coming off back-to-back triple doubles against a very similar team in pace and a team that's not able to score as much. So I think Harden's triple double is worth a sprinkle. I also think Harden's rebounds, which are still I think 6.5 plus money, are absolutely in play as well. The Oklahoma City Thunder should draw and be outside of the paint, which will mean that it should be more rebounding opportunities for a guy like James Harden. When I think about the matchup with the Detroit Pistons, the two most recent matchups with the Detroit Pistons, and then being shorthanded, you think about, Duran not being able to play, Isaiah Stewart also being ruled out in the second game. Those were the games that Harden was able to go in there and grab the rebounds. Of course, Joel Embiid didn't play in the first one, but he played in the second one. Harden still had double-digit rebounds. To me, it's very reminiscent of that Detroit defense without them having their big men. To me, is reminiscent of this Oklahoma City Thunder team that also just don't have a lot of big men. Right? They play hard. That's why they're able to stay in games. I think a lot of teams just aren't, quite taking them serious. But for whatever reason, they stay in the game. So I think Harden rebounds are in play, and like I said, it probably a sprinkle on his triple double as well. I like Philly first half minus the 5.5, favorite play in that game. Moving along to the Celtics and the Nets. So we got a lot of injury news in this one. Still waiting on confirmation on some things, I think. Matter of fact, let me check and make sure I'm not missing anything real quick as I take a breath and a sip of water. So let's see. We got I didn't miss anything at all. So earlier we got reports that that let's see, make sure I got it right. So Robert Williams is not on the injury report. Marcus Smart also. Those guys will be back in for this game, which shows me that they're probably taking this game serious. But then we get reports that Al Horford is going to rest, which he typically does on the second night of a back-to-back. But Jaylen Brown, who I think had 41 points yesterday, is questionable with an abductor strain. So makes this game, a little more difficult to cap. I know this is real easy. I talked about this on the morning show. Real easy to take the Boston Celtics, on the road, second game back-to-back, third game in 4 nights against, a Nets team that doesn't have Kyrie. The Celtics, I'm sorry, that doesn't have KD. They only have Kyrie. I wouldn't say only, but, of the superstars, they have Kyrie. This will be the Nets' first game without KD as well. Like I said, bad travel spot for the Celtics, but the Celtics play well in this spot. It's crazy to think that the Celtics are 4-0 in their last 5 games playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. Also 4-0 straight up and 3-1 against the spread as an away favorite with no rest. Like, the Celtics on something different this year. They're also 5-0 ATS in their last 5 games in Brooklyn, so they kind of own Brooklyn. Celtics also 5-2 against the spread and straight up when favored by 3 points or less, winning those by average of 9 points. So really, really difficult to fade the Celtics in this spot. I don't think that, you can really play. To me, I couldn't play this game until I know the status of Jaylen Brown. And I think that I think it's too close to call for me. I don't want to touch the spread in this one because I can see it being a really close game. If I was going to play anything, I do think that the Celtics probably win the game, but I wouldn't count the Nets out, man. Just because they don't have KD and Kyrie, I would not count these guys out. The Nets are 4-0 ATS in their last 4 games following an ATS loss, and they kind of rallied around each other in the Miami Heat game when he went down, and Royce O'Neal got the game-winning tip. Also, the major rest advantage, right? This is a 2 days rest versus no rest, and the second night of a back-to-back with travel, and third game in 4 nights for the Celtics, even though they typically do, perform well in that spot. Really like the under. Not going to talk too much about why I like the under because it's moved so much, but the Celtics typically go under. The Nets also are a really good defensive team, and they go under as well. So wouldn't play it right now, but when it opened at 228, definitely should have hopped on that. Really like the under in that spot. So that's what I got for you guys there. Moving along to the Bucks and the Heat game. I think the spread has ballooned to 6, and I think let's see, is it 6? It is 6, 5.5. I see 1 5.5, some 6s. Total from 219 all the way down to 212. This game I spent so much time on. All to find out that Giannis was going to be resting. Grayson Allen was going to rest. I think Bam is ruled in. Jimmy should also play, but the Heat still have some guys on the injury report. And I don't really want to play this game now. I feel like it's a punt from the Milwaukee Bucks, and it makes sense because Giannis. This is the third game in 4 nights for the Bucks as well. Second night of a back-to-back, and with travel as well, traveling traveling from Atlanta to Miami. So not a long travel, but Giannis did play 35 minutes last night, and he looks like he need a break. Under his PRA in 3 straight games for Giannis, and I could just kind of tell he needs a break. I thought Drew Holiday was also going to be out for this game because he hasn't really played on too many back-to-backs this season as well, but it looks like he's going to be in. I don't know what to do with this game now. I know I'm not laying 6 with the Miami Heat because I feel like that's too many points, but I had a lot of trends that kind of pointed towards the over, especially when you get these low totals. This total is all the way down to 212 points. That's an extremely low total. But I think I'm gonna kind of stay off that as well. I really wanted to get there with my 2 favorite looks in this game was probably the Bucks first quarter team total. It's all the way, I think it's like 24 and a half. I think I still got it sitting in my best slip. I feel like that's an extremely low number. Even like the Miami Heat defense is not that great. I don't know if people have been paying attention. The Miami Heat are 9-1 to the over when they're a home favorite, and the total is set at 217 and a half or lower, right? The problem is that you're getting a third game in 4 nights and the second night of a back-to-back for the Milwaukee Bucks in this spot. I just don't see this. I see this game going over the total. And that first quarter total, like I said, that to me, that just seems so low. 24 and a half is like really, really low in the first quarter. I think they could get there. So yeah, that's what I don't really want to talk too much about that game, but that's what I was looking at was the first quarter team total over for the Milwaukee Bucks, just because it is so low. We've seen teams, I don't know if people have been paying attention to it, but these teams that have these extremely low totals, they they typically they typically cash them. Like you think about the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are something like 8-2 to the over in the first quarter on their team total, just because the book set it so low. They disrespect them, and then the defenses disrespect them too, right? Don't think that they're gonna score. Don't give them the best shot. Overlook them, whatever the case might be, and then they go over that, right? So the Bucks will have guys that'll come in here and still try to fill it up, right? They still have guys that can score the ball. Bobby Portis will be inserted probably into the starting lineup. Guys like Pat Connaughton, Javon Carter, Beauchamp, like Brooke Lopez will still be out there. Drew Holiday, I think that they go over. I might end up sprinkling on it. I don't want to put anything heavy on it, but I think that the Bucks could go over their team total in the first quarter, probably for the full game as well. I think it's down to like 102 and a half. I think they could score 100 points. Miami Heat's defense is not that great, if I'm being honest. I also think that there's an element of overlooking the Milwaukee Bucks now because there is no Giannis. So, maybe you take your foot off the gas, right? I just think the total's too low for in both of those spots. So haven't played either one of those, but they're sitting in my best slip. Moving along, we got two more games left, I think. Oh, so the Charlotte game, I didn't really have anything on. I want to punt that game. Charlotte and Toronto spread opened at 7.5 again. This is a second of a back-to-back series between these two teams. Both played in Toronto. Toronto smacked up Charlotte in the first game. Not the whole entire game. It wasn't until late that they actually pulled away. Charlotte was scoring with them. The problem was Charlotte wasn't playing any defense. I think both teams shot over 50% in that game. Toronto scored 130 points in that game, and now they get to do it all over again in Toronto tonight. Spread all the way up to 8. Total has come down from 232 down to 230 and a half, 231. I actually like the over again. I don't think that Toronto takes Charlotte seriously. I think that I contradict myself because I do think that Toronto can't afford to overlook anybody on this homestand. They're in a really, really tough spot for their season right now. If they don't go on some kind of winning streak during this homestand, I think it's going to be really, really difficult for them to make that playoff push. Because right now I want to say that they're not in the playoff picture. Charlotte shot the ball really, really well in the last game. I think Terry Rozier scored 40 points or something like that, and they still lost the game. LaMelo went crazy. I think he had his points prop, he had his 3 prop, and they still lost the game. So I was on Plumlee rebounds in that game. I think Plumlee probably does grab his rebounds because in my estimation, Charlotte can't play any worse defense. It can only get better, right? So same thing. If you want to go back to it, I gave it out official play the other day. I didn't play it today, but Plumlee rebounds because opposing big men go over their rebound mark every single game for the most part until I take them, of course. But they've gone over every single game against the Toronto Raptors. You just take the opposing center, And they typically cash their rebound line. I give you guys all the stats all over again, but I just talked about it during the show the other day with these two teams. So nothing else official for me in that game. I don't really. You guys probably noticed already. I don't really like attacking the second leg of those games unless I have something really, really strong. So I didn't even really look into that game too much. Moving along, we got two more games, and I'm actually doing pretty good on time. I'm gonna make this pretty quick. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's go to the Cavaliers and the Portland game, even though that game starts 10 minutes after the Lakers and Dallas game. Let's talk about the Cavs and the Trailblazers first. So two teams definitely going in, I wouldn't say opposite directions, because neither team is playing really well. I told you guys the other day that I don't trust the Cavs on the road as a favorite. I told you they had some really suspect covers, like against the Phoenix Suns when they were without everybody, right? Against the Lakers when they weren't good. When they play against meaningful competition, they don't do well in that spot. The Cavs are just 5, 6, and 1 against the spread as an away favorite. In games where they're 3-point favorites or less, they're actually only 1, 2, and 1. They've only covered one spread out of 4. When the spread is 4 or less, so when they have to win by 4 points or less, they're only 2, 5, and 1. And when they're favored by 5 or more, they're actually 3 and 1. So they need the big line, right? They need to be projected to win by 5 points or more, and they cover 3 and 1 in that spot, 75%, versus when the spread, like I said, is if it's 4 or less, this team is only if it's 4 or less, they're only 2, 5, and 1. So close games on the road don't favor the Cleveland Cavaliers in this spot. They recently, lost and didn't cover against the Nuggets and the Jazz most recently in those spots. You look at this Blazers team, not a team that you really want to back right now. They're absolutely trash. I think something like, I had it written down. Oh, so Blazers 2-8 straight up in their last 10, and against the spread, straight up and against the spread last 10. They failed to cover 4 games in a row. This will be their second game back home. We know that they were 8-point favorites against the Orlando Magic the other day. Failed to cover that game. Just they don't have enough scoring right now. They have enough scoring. They just can't figure it out. Like, shots aren't falling. I do expect them to be able to get it together here soon, shortly. We see what guards do to the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road specifically. Jordan Clarkson, most recently, lit this team up the other day in Utah. They failed to score. The Blazers, that is, failed to score more than 106 points in their last 4 games, and they get a Cleveland Cavaliers team that's pretty good on the defensive end as well. The problem with the Cavs is not necessarily their offense. We know that they can. Not necessarily their defense. We know that they can. They got Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, some pretty Lamar Stevens. They got, Isaac Okoro. They got some pretty good defenders. The problem is they don't necessarily score the ball, that well. And the Blazers, when they're playing their best brand of basketball, they are playing defense and they're hanging their hat on the defensive end. So for me, I was looking towards, I know the total in this one opened at like 223, and it's come down. I think it's all the way down to 220 now, 220 and a half. And when I look at this game, 220 and a half right now. So it's dropped 3 points. When I look at this game, I actually think that it could go over. I didn't play the over, but I feel like the Cavs are 3-0 to the over in their last 3 games as a favorite. On the road, the Cavs are also 5-3 to the over when they're a road favorite of 4 points or less. And all 3 of those games I just mentioned to you guys have all gone over the total. It went over against Phoenix, it went over against Utah, and it went over against Denver. I think that the Cavs, you know what? I say all that to say this. I'm not playing the over because Portland plays at such a slow pace. But if Portland came out here and shot the lights out, it wouldn't surprise me none. It just feels like a game where Dame and Anthony Simons gonna get it done. Jeremy Grant, if you check his box scores, he's been another guy that's really been a part of this struggling offense. Watch the post practice shoot around. I think it was from yesterday where Anthony Simons, like a 7-minute interview, and he was just talking about, how they kind of just stand together. They understand that they're struggling. Same thing Dame's saying in his interviews as well. And I kind of believe that. I think that I think this team can get it done. If I was playing this game just based on what I just told you guys, it would be Blazers or nothing for me. But I don't feel like I can blindly just, even though the numbers say that I shouldn't play the Cavs, which I'm not, I don't feel like I'm going to play the Blazers. I don't feel like it's strong enough for me. But if the Blazers came out here and won this game, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Blazers also just don't play well this season on their first game back home. We know that they were on a long East Coast trip. They lost, a lot of those games. They lost in Toronto. They lost in Indiana. They come back home. Orlando smacks them up in a game where they lack size, right? Jeremy Grant is really like a 3 and a 4's body, but and we know how much size Orlando has. But to me, I would only be able to play the Blazers plus the 3 in this spot, especially home dog catching 3 points. I think it's a winnable game for both teams, which is why I'm kind of off of it. And last game up, the Dallas Mavericks are visiting my Los Angeles Lakers in LA tonight. Spreading this one open at 2.5 is up to 3. Hold on, my fault. Spreading this one opened at 3 on most books. Is still at 3 on most books. I also saw it touch 3.5 earlier today as well in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. Total in this one opened at 229 is up to 236. So a lot of money coming in on the over. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the over, especially with the current number. So start injury wise, LeBron is listed as probable for this game. And then I think Troy Brown Jr., I think it was, also listed as probable for this game. We should be able to get him back tonight. This Mavs team has not been great. The Lakers, are the numbers say that the Lakers have been the better team, last 5 games or so since the the new year came in. So call it a homer pick if you want. I didn't take it, but it is sitting in my best lip. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I see what I do in these earlier games, and I might end up playing it. But I was looking at actually Laker trifecta spot. But if I was gonna play anything, it'd probably be first quarter, first half, the one I'm most confident in. I'll give you guys some numbers, and you decide what you want to do with it. Also, official play for me. I talked about it. I tweeted out earlier. Thomas Bryant, excuse me, Thomas Bryant double is actually up to plus money now, which doesn't make me feel good. It's when I looked at it earlier and capped it, it was minus 125. It dropped down to minus 105, which is when I locked it in and gave it out. And now I see it all the way up to plus 110 the last 5 minutes that I checked. So first quarter for the Lakers. I'll give you guys some numbers because I think the perception is that we assume that the Los Angeles, excuse me, we assume that the Dallas Mavericks are this really, really good first quarter juggernaut team because Luka plays the whole first quarter. Same thing with Denver in with Jokic playing the most of the first quarter. That's not necessarily the case. So my argument for the Lakers first quarter, I think it's at plus a half a point. The Lakers 7-3 ATS last 10 in the first quarter. Last 5, they're 4-1 against the spread. At home specifically, Lakers 4-0-1 ATS in the last 5 first quarters. Lakers also 3-0 ATS and straight up revenge of same season losses at home so far this season. They lost in Dallas on Christmas Day, but were leading at the end of the first quarter and first half before they gave up 50 points in the third quarter. I think it was more. I think it was 51. They went from being up 10 to down. I think it was up 20 to down 10 or up 10 to down 20. I think it was up 10 at halftime to down 20. Since the start of the new year, the Lakers have played twice at home. They're a plus 12.5 in the first quarter. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to it, but the Lakers are actually playing really, really hard right now. Dennis Schroeder, guys like Thomas Bryant, which is why I'm on this double-double. They're just playing hard. They're hustling, getting loose balls, getting on the ground. The Mavs on the other side, first quarter stats, 4-6 ATS their last 10, 2-3 last 5, 2-3 last 5 on the road as well. Since the start of December, the Mavs are a minus 6.3 in the first quarter of road games, which ranks 5th worst. Lakers plus 12.5. So I think there's a little margin right there. This is a TNT game. I want to add that as well. Also looked at first half stats. Lakers are the best first half team in the league. Hold on, they're not the best. Oh no, I think they are the best. I think I was looking at something else. Lakers are the best first half team in the league first half. So typically you want to get in and get out because they typically fade in the second half. 26-15 against the spread. Mavs second worst. They're 15, 24-3 ATS in the first half. At home, the Lakers are 13-5 against the spread. On the road for Dallas, they're just 5-13-2 against the spread. Second worst behind only, guess who? The Golden State Warriors. Golden State's a really, really bad road team. We know that. So specifically in the first half, they get smashed. And I thought it was interesting to find that the only team that Dallas was better than was the Golden State Warriors. Dallas is also just 1-3-1 against the spread in the first half in their last 5 games, and 0-3 in the first half for their last 3 road games. Where the Lakers are 3-2 in the first half in their last 5 last 5 games overall. You also look at the point differential, right? So the Lakers are averaging almost 62 points, 61.5 in the first half at home since the start of December 1st, which is the 4th most in the league, and they're plus 3.8 in the first half during that time frame. Winning the first half by about 4 points. The Mavs on the opposite side, they're scoring 54 points in the first half. Actually ranks 26, so you could say 26 or fifth worst, fifth least since December 1st on the road, and they're minus 6.3 in that spot. Bron is rested. He didn't play in the last game in Denver, so I think big game for him is brewing for tonight in a big TNT matchup. I think he needs 35 points, 38 points, something like that to go for 38,000 or whatever it is. So I lean towards both of those. The numbers kind of tell me that. I don't want to necessarily invest in the Lakers, but I do think that if I'm playing a game, that's what I'm playing. If I'm not, if I'm trying to double down and find another play besides the Thomas Bryant double-double. Not gonna really go over the trends for the Thomas Bryant double-double. I posted that on the timeline. Also, there's a even more detailed write-up in the chalkboard if you guys want access to that. Like I said, just shoot me a DM and I'll send you guys a link to the chalkboard. Trying to drop at least a play over there, every day or every other day as well. So yeah, I think all things considered, I like the Lakers today, man. I know it's a homer pick, but I like the Lakers today. I also think that there's something to the Celtics. I'm sorry, not the Celtics. There's something to the Mavericks when the Mavs have beat you when the Mavs have beat you already and they have to play you again. I talked about it already. They're 0-3 revenge and same season losses. Also, the Mavs are just 3-9 as a road favorite and just 2-8 as a ATS as a road favorite versus a team with the losing record. 4 straight non-covers. They failed to cover their last 3 games as an away favorite against the Rockets, the Spurs, and the Rockets, although they did win all 3 of those games. So I think it could be a tightly contested game. If I played anything, like I said, it'd probably just be the first half. I do think that the Lakers come out here and probably win the first half, especially with arrested Bron in this spot. And then I talked about Thomas Bryant double-double. So that's what I got. That's what I'm on today, man. I had a lot of other things that I was looking at, just didn't get to the window with. But top plays for me are the Philadelphia 76ers first half minus the 5.5. Like I said, I think they win in the first half by 10, and or close to 10. And then the Thunder typically come back, like I said, at the start of the third quarter. And then no play for me at all on the Celtics and the Nets, unless somebody can talk me into something. Bucks and the Heat, no play for me, but I really, really like that Bucks first quarter team total at 24.5. I think that number's a little bit too low for overrated, Miami Heat defense. And then also looking at that Cavs and Blazers game, if I had to play anything, it would be the Blazers plus the 3, or just be a play on Anthony Simons. I don't think that, I think, like I said, eventually he's going to start knocking down those shots, and score the ball at a very efficient rate. And I think he goes off for a 30-point game in one of these home games that that they're on during this homestand. So and then the Mavs and the Lakers, like I said, I tweeted out already. Thomas Bryant double-double, official play for me. And Charlotte and Toronto, I would go back to Plumlee rebounds just because he let me down in the last spot. I think he probably bounces back strong, and that's typically what happens when I take somebody and they don't hit, and I don't take them in the next game. Of course, they hit the following game. So those would be my strongest plays. Lakers first half, Lakers first quarter. I also think that they win the first quarter. Thomas Bryant double-double, and Philadelphia 76ers first half is what I got for you guys. 34 minutes in the books. Hit the like button for me. 115 people watching on YouTube. Hit the like button for me if you guys can. Fremont said Lakers smack city spot tonight. Okay, I got some Laker love in the building. Nets bet said Lakers and Knicks got to be up there. Yeah, the Knicks were second. Nets bet I know what you're talking about for the first half. Yeah, first half ATS. The Knicks are the second best. I talked about it yesterday on the morning show against the Pacers. Didn't even play it, but yeah, they are the best first half team. The Mavs struggle in the first half. It's crazy to think. But yeah, send me a request if anybody got any. And like I said, hit the like button for me, support the show. And that's what I got for you guys. Let me kick it to Ben real quick, and let me get snagged up as well. Send me a request if you guys got anything, and let's get into it. Share some plays, share some knowledge, especially if anybody done did their homework. Start off with Snag, because that's a Snag typically pretty quick. What up, Snag?
What's going on, Chris? What's the word?
What up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm all right. I'm Mr. Attack the retirement home, man.
What you going with, Snag? Luka triple-double in the win, man?
Nah, not the triple. I just want him to give me 20 and 10, or you can give me 40 and 10, double in the win. Parlay with Pascal Siakam 28 in the win. I'm running it back plus 563.
Plus 563.
Yep.
Luka double in the win, and Pascal Siakam 28 in the win.
Yep.
Okay. Best of luck to you, Snag. I can see it. I could definitely see. I can see it. Yeah, I can see both. I can see both of those. Best of luck, Snag. What up, Ben? Talk to me.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Monster. I mean, I had a really nice night last night, so I'm going to be a little smaller on volume today. I know you're always a big fan of that.
Oh, yeah. What you got for us, man?
I'm definitely on. I've been trying to national TV games. I think they're just a tick more for.
You breaking up, Ben? Can you hear me?
Because the stars really try to come out, right? So I'm on Lucas. Yeah, can you hear me now or no?
Yeah, no, you good now.
You hear me now? So I'm on Lucas points and LeBron points. I've been trying to crush these national television games.
Okay.
I just think this is a night where the stars come out, right? We know the NBA is motivated, especially when they're getting a lot of viewership for guys like Luka and LeBron to go off in front of huge audiences. You got the storyline here with LeBron getting towards the milestone. And then you also got some matchup, stuff here to look at.
Jaylen Brown just got ruled out, just so people know.
That clears some things up for me for sure.
Yep.
Right, we just saw Kawhi, kind of a similar offensive play. I know not the exact same as LeBron, but it's a guy who's going to try to score inside the three-point line more than outside the three-point line, right at the forward position. Just went off for 33 against Dallas. I think LeBron goes for 33 in his sleep tonight. I think the NBA is going to be very motivated for LeBron to get to that 36,000. Let's just put it like that. And then I just don't see, and I know you're probably going to agree with me, who in the world is stopping Luka with the Lakers?
Nobody.
Nobody, right? And we know this, Luka will score 40 every single night if he wants to. National TV game against LeBron James, Luka clearly having an MVP caliber season. I think this is a really nice motivation spot for him too. So I laddered Luka to 40 also, and LeBron to 35 this morning. I don't have the obviously plus money. And then I'm with you on that Mason Plumlee bet. If they start Siakam at center, I don't know if I'm going to get there with Plumlee. If they got Koloko or one of those actual centers playing there rather than kind of Siakam being a stretch five, right? I'll definitely get there on Plumlee rebounds. But if Siakam's at the 5, I'm going to get there on Siakam's points. Just because I don't see how Plumlee sticks with them. Siakam had 28 last game against them. It's the exact same matchup. And his volume was actually down last game from what it has been. So I would assume we see a little bit more of a volume, type outburst tonight from him if not every single role player is making literally every shot. I mean, he scored 132 points last game. That's not a typical game for the Raptors. He just didn't have to force it because everybody else was making shots. I just don't see that happening again. So I see Siakam being a little more assertive tonight offensively. And then I got to look a little more into it now. I haven't put it in yet. I wanted to play Marcus Smart tonight just because you have everybody else who kind of played the other day and Smart didn't. You start looking at the matchups, right? You probably are going to have Royce O'Neal on Jaylen Brown, Simmons on Tatum, which means that Smart gets the soft matchup with Kyrie because Kyrie's got to carry the brunt of the load offensively. He probably ain't going to play a lick of defense. And point guards have been playing pretty well against the Nets in general, especially when their point guard is not the guy guarded by Ben Simmons. So, I got to see how Jaylen Brown's going to affect that. I can't imagine it negatively affects how Smart's going to score just because there's going to be more shots to go around. I do have one question for you. So everything I saw on Thomas Bryant was that he's going to go over that rebound number tonight. So I'm with you. But why? What scared me off? Why do you think he only played 19 minutes and 3 rebounds last time they played Dallas? Because I couldn't figure it out. Maybe you saw something.
You know what, Ben? I watched that game from start to finish. Honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember why he only played those 19 minutes. The only thing, honestly, I couldn't talk myself off of it at all, though, Ben. Earlier when I was thinking about it,
you're right. The numbers are with you on everything.
Right. Yeah, I can't talk myself off of it, Ben. I can't remember exactly why. I just remember the flow of the game. I remember Braun coming out, playing well early. And then I don't know if we just changed up the rotation, if Coach Ham wanted to change up the rotation for whatever reason, but we weren't playing a lick of defense when the third quarter started. I mean, of course you can't when you give up 50 points in a quarter.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was something like that, but the Thomas Bryant play for me more so what I've seen from him in the last 6-7 games. I think he understands that without AD being there, this is an opportunity for him to create a lot of value for himself. Even if he's not on the Lakers or, whatever the case might be, because AD is going to be back. He might even be back next week. So this is an audition for him, for a lot of other teams he might potentially end up being a starter if he can play, this type of work with this type of workload. You can tell, I watch the Lakers play all the time, of course, because that's my team. You can tell he's always gassed because, he's not used to playing this many minutes, like you can kind of see him with his hand down, hands on his knees, just gasping for air. But dude plays so hard. I just can't see him not, going out there getting a double-double in the spot like this.
And he's been a pretty reliable rebounder.
Absolutely. The best rebounder for the Lakers. I think I had him at 13 rebounds over the last 6 games, Ben, on 19.3 chances or 20.3 chances. It's in the write-up that I posted.
I want to say averaging 11 rebounds without AD this year as well.
I gotta have it, Ben. Gotta have it.
Yeah, I'm with you. So
undersized Dallas team. We just need the misses, right? All you need is the misses. Dallas don't have a bunch of guys that can rebound the ball well.
For sure. And I mean, if this being LeBron versus Luka, he ain't gonna have to guard someone who has the ball, so he's always gonna be in position to rebound.
Right.
So no, I'm with you, man. I like it. I'll probably put that in.
Okay. Best of luck to you, man. Let me kick it to Stephen real quick, and DJ, and I'm coming to you. What up, my guy?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
How you doing, man? I'm good. How about yourself?
Hey, man, between Grimes and Buddy and Randall, we cashed out at MSG last night.
Yes, sir. Them rebounds. I was thinking about you last night. Them rebounds was easy money.
Oh, my God. Man, he had 9 in the first quarter. I was crying the whole way through the game. 16 was just a lock for the rest of the way. And that bozo Tibbs, if he didn't bench Grimes down the stretch, he would have smacked that 6 for 330 easily, but he covered his baseline. But I got like 4 looks tonight. The first one is like I always have this circle whenever he comes to town, and it's Marcus Smart Day. Jaylen Brown, I had a feeling he wasn't going to play originally earlier today, so I grabbed it earlier. But Marcus Smart, every time he comes to Brooklyn, puts on a show. He's over his last 5 playoff games against the Nets in Brooklyn. He's over the 11.5. His last 5 regular season games, he's over the 11.5. And the Nets don't guard the guard position. Brown's out, so there's going to be more usage. So I love Marcus Smart tonight. I took his 11.5. I took his 15. I took his 20. The next one I like is obscure, but Fred VanVleet versus the Hornets has played him 14 times, and he's had over 1.5 steals 1 time. So every time it's Raptors Hornets, it's just auto. Just take the under on VanVleet steals. It's 140. What's the other one? Oh, here's another obscure one I like too. Is Christian Wood's assists. It's sitting at 1.5, and you can't get it anywhere straight up. But I put it with like Luka's 8 rebounds because Luka does it every time he plays the Lakers. But if you look at centers against the Lakers, you're looking at the Lakers getting smacked up pretty bad. The last 4 games, Jokic was a monster. Obviously, he's in his own league, but he went over with 16. Bam went over. Plumlee went over. Wendell Carter went over his line by 2 assists. And if you look at the last 2 times these team played, Wood actually had 7 assists. So I took his 1.5 with Luka's 8 rebounds at plus money. I even took his 3, which you get on DraftKings with Luka. You get that plus 300. And this is a line that he destroyed last time he played the Lakers. So I like that one. And the last one I like is obscure. But I like Kyrie's rebounds tonight. Because I just have a weird feeling that whenever it's Boston and it's in Brooklyn, just something just always happens in these games. So I was looking at the numbers. And Boston's been giving up rebounds to the guards. Last 3 games, Levine had 7. Romeo Langford had 7. Aaron Wiggins has 6. And the last 3 times Kyrie's been in Brooklyn without KD playing that team, he's had 8 rebounds in all 3 of those games. So I took his 6, I took his 8, and just because it's a primetime game, I went on PointsBet and took his triple-double, which is plus 1,400. And I always say you got to throw Starbucks money on dumb things because people hit dumb things every night, so why not me? So I took plus 1,400, something like 250 to win like 350. You know, if it loses, who cares? If it wins, I get to come back on here tomorrow and tell you that I told y'all to take that triple-double.
Oh, I like it. Okay, so hey, best of luck, bro. Best of luck, man. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Let me kick it to DJ real quick, and then Andrew, I'm gonna get you up as well. What up, DJ? How you doing, man?
What's up, Chris? How you doing, bro?
I'm pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, and I wanted to touch on that Bucks Heat game real quick, man, because you know me, you know I love the Bucks in this spot, man. I don't care that they played last night, and don't care that Giannis is out. And I agree with a lot of what you said, man. This is a bet that a lot of casual bettors or NBA fans will look at, and they think that this is the same Heat team that contended for home court advantage in the Eastern Conference the last 2 seasons, but it's really not, man. And even the Bucks without Giannis, they're 4-2 this season. The Heat, they're a pretty inconsistent team all year long, and we've seen recently how reliant the Heat are at getting to the free throw line, right? And this is a Bucks team. They have the fewest personal fouls a game in the NBA. They're a disciplined team. This is a professional-ass franchise, guys. You see this in other sports, like in the NFL, a team like the Ravens or the Steelers, if they're playing super injured against a weaker team, it just doesn't matter. Like these good, successful franchises, they put their teams in success to have a good game every single night. And, Giannis is out, but the Heat are still without Kyle Lowry and Hero. And, I know Bam is probably going to play today, but he's still kind of hurt. And, other than that, the only players that have played over 20 minutes a game and in over half of Miami's last 10 games, you get Jimmy Butler and Victor Oladipo, obviously, but then you get Max Strus and Gabe Vincent. And to me, if you're setting that lineup up against Holiday, Carter, Cunningham, Portis, and Lopez, I think the Bucks are just as equal there. Maybe so to me, I'm taking that +6. I might sprinkle money line, but this is a spread to me that Vegas just got wrong tonight. And I think they're going to trap a lot of people down on this Heat side tonight. And I'm going to be on the Bucks, and I might have that plus money line ticket when they do win this game tonight. But my player prop tonight that I'm rolling with, we're taking Josh Giddey tonight over points, rebounds, and assists. It's sitting at 28.5. This is a bet. We cashed his PRA over the last game, and we like his matchup tonight, right? This Thunder, they're another team. The blowout factor doesn't really scare us as much in this game as it should, right? Anytime you see that 10-point spread, you do typically get a little nervous in that game. But Thunder are the best team against the spread this season. They're covering the 25-16. They're good on the road against the spread, and Giddey's just been doing his thing lately. He doesn't need the ball in his hands to score, right? He can create off basket. He gets rebounds and put back. So anytime you get a player like that, you like that in his points, rebounds, assists. And man, this is a guy drafted 6th overall. He's averaging over 15 points a game, 8 rebounds, and over 5 assists a game. And he's really looking like a good piece to fit in this Thunder offense. And I really like watching Giddey, man. He's coming off his last recent performance against the Heat. He had a triple double. He went 18, 15, and 10. So definitely like him. And he's been playing, not against the Heat, against the 76ers. But he's just been playing really good basketball lately. He's averaging 17 points over his last 10 games, already 2 more than typical. So we like Giddey tonight to have a good night in Philly. And the Thunder should hopefully keep this one closer to late, so Giddey can get his minutes in and get his stats right in this one. But like the Bucks and like Josh Giddey tonight, and good luck to everyone.
The Bucks and Giddey. Okay, DJ, best of luck to you, man. Best of luck to you. Let me get Andrew up. Excuse me. Anybody else got anything that they want to share? Any questions they want to ask? Feel free to send me a request, and I'll get you guys up. Andrew, kicking it to you. What's going on?
What's up? Is Mike working actually?
Yeah, you good.
Wow. Christmas miracle. All right, my man. So I'm going to kind of keep it short. It's kind of, I was talking to you earlier this morning. I was kind of studying up on things and writing things out. I got Rozier over 4.5 assists at plus 100. Now, he's only hit this 2 out of the last 5 times, but against his opponent, what is it? They're going against the Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
he's hitting this 4 out of 4. Now, if you want to be safe, you can just do 4 assists. I think it's minus 200. But, again, a weird thing, Anobi, I have him at 15 points to get plus, I think, 130 with having Rozier at 4 assists and Anobi at 15 points. Anobi, out of the last 5 games, only hit this 2 out of 5. But first, the Hornets, he smashed this, like 22, 19, and I think 24. I didn't write it down, but I know it was in the 20s. So right now I have Rozier over 4.5 at plus 100, and Anobi at 15 points. I don't remember what it was, but that's 2.5 for that game. And then for Sixers versus OKC, I have Dort over 3.5 rebounds. Out of the last 5 games, he's hitting this 4 out of 5, but against his opponents, he's been 5 for 5. Giddey, I have his under assist. I know, I don't know who was just talking. Sorry, I was doing my kids, but he was talking about being all over Giddey. With Giddey, I have him under 6. Last 5 games, he's only hit 6 assists, 2 out of 5. And against his opponent, which he's only played 3 times, he's only hitting it once. And then with Maxey, I have him actually under 19.5. Last 5 games, he's only hitting this twice. And against the opponent, he's only done it once. The last 5 games they've played. That's it.
Okay. Best of luck, Andrew. I hope you cash those, man.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm trying, man.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Carnici, what's going on, my guy? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I was about to ask you about the Lakers game. You feel me? Russell Westbrook has been playing some good ball, and I think I was gonna ask you which line I'm looking at on FanDuel. Which line would you think he would go over in points, rebounds, or assists? His assist is sitting at 7.5. His rebounds sitting at 6.5, and his points sitting at 16.5.
Which one I think he go over?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I haven't looked at it too much, man. Honestly, I think I think a lot of people think it's gonna be a lot of points scored in this game today. And I couldn't talk anybody off the over, but the Lakers have been playing a lot better defense recently. I meant to look this up earlier, but I just haven't yet. I think matter of fact, I'm about to do it real quick right now. The Lakers have been playing fast, but they've been playing a little bit better defense. The Dallas Mavericks have not been playing as much defense, but they play at a really, really slow pace, right? So I think, taking those things into consideration, I think it could be some unders that actually hit in this game tonight. I know, that's contrarian because a lot of people probably looking towards overs, but let's see. Last 5 games, the Lakers, I want to give you defensive rating and pace. So the Lakers are actually 12th defensive rating, and the Dallas Mavericks are not as good. They're 28th, but coming off a loss to the Clippers, I think that they, probably don't want to come to LA and lose both of the games. So I imagine they play, a little bit better defense. And then you look at pace. Lakers are playing pretty fast. They're second fastest paced team in the league. The Dallas Mavericks, of course, are not playing fast. They are the 4th slowest paced team in the league over the last 5 games. So I think Westbrook assists. He could get it if the other guys are actually making shots. Depending on how many minutes he get, I would probably look towards his rebounds if I had to play any of those. But that's without, that's just like a slight glimpse, just based on, not actually crushing any numbers or anything.
Nah, because you talked me on to the Lakers like first half.
Yeah.
Or I feel a little safer with the first half than the first quarter, but I would definitely sprinkle on both. But I was also looking at maybe Schroeder. I know everybody's talking about Luka, LeBron, and Christian Wood, but Schroeder, he been doing his thing. Like
he would be the guy that I'd be looking at too. No, I'm with you. He'd be the guy I'd be looking at too. The only reason I didn't play him is because like I said, I played Thomas Bryant, but dude was shooting, I think, like close to 70% from the field over the course of like 4 or 5 games before the last game, which he was due to have a bad game, in Denver. He just, kind of a spot where, eventually got to come back down to normal. So I do see him playing well tonight. He also going to have the opportunity, right? Because we still don't got Lonnie Walker. Austin Reeves is still out, right? No AD, of course, but he's gonna get the. We're relying on him. He's playing like close to 30 minutes a game to be able to give us some scoring. He's also one of the only other guys on the court besides LeBron that can actually create his own shot. Yeah, create his own shot. He can get to the rim. He can pull up mid range. You know what I mean? He can shoot free throws. So, yeah, I like Schroeder. I couldn't talk you off Schroeder tonight.
And then one more thing, I was actually, before Jaylen Brown got ruled out, I was gonna say, like, so why we not on Celtics? Kevin Durant's not playing. I know the Nets been playing good, but I was actually looking at Kyrie numbers, and I was going to take maybe his under 29.5 points because, like, Marcus Smart there, and I know everybody. Kyrie's the only person that's really going to be scoring, but, the Celtics could just key in and, make Kyrie, because I just feel like, when you bet Kyrie for 25 or 20, some nights he would just have that off night and, but he's in the situation where it's like, yo, you're that guy, you're our best player right now. So it's like, I could see it, but, now that Jaylen Brown is ruled out, I don't even want to touch that game. That's why I'm on the Lakers. I'm looking at the Lakers right now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I think so a couple of things come to mind when you think about taking Kyrie under. The first thing is like, how much volume do you think Kyrie's gonna have? He might shoot 29 times tonight. You know what I mean? Right. So I wouldn't be looking towards taking Kyrie points prop under at all. Also think that it's a super big motivational game. I think the same way that KD, whenever you're a superstar, and your sidekick or your teammate that's like 1A and 1B goes down, it's something that I think where people want to that other player that's still in, they want to prove that they what I mean, that they can still hold it down and run the fort while they not there. I think we just kind of saw that with with Clay, right? Clay, everybody told me Clay was washed, right? Clay was done, right? Hang it up, like go turn your jersey in, son. You come back next year. Right, and Clay, right? Clay had 20. Clay was averaging like 30 for like a week, for like 2 weeks. So I think about it from from that standpoint, right? The opportunity creates other opportunities for players to kind of step up. I think we saw it last year with Joker in Denver, right? Like he keeps getting the triple doubles because Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. can't stay healthy, so he embraces that challenge. So I wouldn't take Kyrie under. Is what I'm saying. But best of luck to everybody who thinking about sprinkling on it or taking Kyrie under his points prop. Boston being on the second night of a back-to-back third game in 4 nights also doesn't bode well for them having any kind of legs. The other thing I think about when I think about Boston defense, Boston, they got too much pride to double team you. They don't double team. They just play one-on-one straight up. And if you score, guess what? They cool with that because they feel like they're gonna outscore everybody. Right. Yeah, like they're gonna go back down and get a bucket too. So at least what I'm watching with Boston, I don't see Boston ever double teaming, especially with the the defenders that they have out there. I mean, they believe in Derek White, they believe in Malcolm Brogdon, they believe in Tatum, they believe in Marcus Smart. So yeah, I can't take Kyrie under his points. Yeah, I can't. I can't do it. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Best of luck to you in your action tonight, man. I do like that first half, though. I think I'm gonna get there with the Lakers on the first half. I gave out the numbers, for the people who came in late. I like the Lakers first half, man. Just didn't get there with it quite yet. But it was at 0.5 plus 0.5, so plus a point. But I think I saw it go up to plus 1.5. So if I can catch the 1.5, I think they'll be winning. Yeah, I think they'll be winning at halftime, man. I really, really do. I think the Lakers will be winning the game at halftime. I also mentioned for the people who came in late, the Lakers are 3-0, revenge of same season losses this season when they get the team at home. Also, Dallas also 0-3 against the spread, and they're losing the first quarter and first half when they're the team that's revenge when they're the team that's beat a team that they've beaten already this season. So. Not covering spreads in that spot. So, yeah, I like that spot for the Lakers tonight. Dream, what's going on, my guy?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me? What's the vibes, man?
Yeah. What up, Dream? You good, bro? What's going on with you?
Man, same old, man. Been on a rough patch, but found a little glitch last night, so I was lucky to pick up a few units on that. But yeah, man. I don't have nothing official that really stuck out to me. I'm just going to share what I'm really looking for to drop in this TJ Warren line. I like TJ for a variety of reasons. He's just a known scorer. Y'all know Bubble TJ Warren, but right now in this matchup, obviously no KD. He shot about 25, 30 shots available. It's not like Royce O'Neal, Ben Simmons, none of these players are like offensive minded. Joe Harris is not going to create his own shots. They don't have as many shot creators. I don't know if Cam Thomas is going to get minutes. So I'm guessing, but from my research, I'm thinking TJ Warren going to get between 24 and 28 minutes. So to me, if his line is under, about 12, 13, 14, I'm most likely going to take it and ladder his points. That's really all that I have to share as far as like official plays. A couple lines that I thought was valuable. Embiid 3 threes plus 650. So I'm sure somebody else discussed how he can do whatever he wants tonight. Last time he played OKC, he had a triple double, but he only had 16 points and he still took 3 threes. The game before that, I think he hit one, but he took 7 threes. So to me, if Embiid go for 40, 50 tonight, I think he's going to be chucking up a few threes. So I'll sprinkle that. And Gary Trent and Terry Rozier threes. They each both played last game. I'm not sure if both had 5 threes or just Rozier, but Gary Trent is plus 500, 5 threes. If you know Gary Trent Jr., that's not tough for him to get. And he has a great history against the Hornets. And Terry Rozier, he's been on the tier lately. So if you're going to give me 5 threes at plus 650, I'll sprinkle that too. So that's all I really got for tonight.
Okay. Love the value lines that you always get, Dream. Love these joints, bro. TJ Warren, GTJ, Gary Trent Jr., and Terry Rozier, both of their threes. Yeah, I like it. I like those. I like those a lot. I'm gonna just watch that Toronto game though. I do want to see how that game. I can't imagine they score more points than they scored in the last one because that joint looked like a rec league game where defense, like if you was gonna get subbed out if you tried to play defense, it was so bad defensively. I can't imagine they score that many points again or play that fast. But I mean, who knows? So I am interested in watching that game though. Just didn't really want to take anything. I like Plumlee though. Like I said, his rebounds in that spot. But good looks by Dream as well. Let me kick it to Mitch real quick. I know Mitch typically only got something. He typically quick. He talk 100 miles a minute. What up, Mitch? What you got for the people today, man?
Hey, what's up? Just wanted a quick add-on. I just looked and I was just looking and the odds just popped up. But Dream, I'm seeing some of 12.5s for TJ Warren over on DraftKings and a couple other books. So hop on that if you want because those will probably be moving pretty quick. Another line I'm honestly I want to look into it right now. Brogdon without Brown in the lineup, his PRAs, I'm thinking that he's hitting like in this last 4 or 6. I like those ones, and honestly, I just hopped in as soon as I heard Dream say that, and I was scanning. I wanted to let him know that I just saw those TJ Warren lines come up. Also, since I'm in here, I'll give a quick one. I'm liking Christian Wood over 20.5 points. He hit 30 last game versus the Lakers. His usage rate and ever since he's been moving to the starting lineup has been wild. So I'm liking Christian Wood over his 20.5 points. Also his 1.5 blocks. He's cleared in 7-9, and plus 105 for the blocks. Thanks, Chris.
Okay. Hey, no, thank you, Mitch. Thank you. Hey, Mitch, I got a question for you because you're a defensive guy. So I don't know where he is today, but our good guy LJ from H-Town is not in the building, and he loves. We know how much LJ loves Nicholas Claxton, right? I was looking on FanDuel, not FanDuel. I was looking on DraftKings earlier. Nicholas Claxton blocks, I think, is 2.5, and it was plus money, and his steals plus blocks, which I don't have that. I do have access. I just didn't check it on like OddsJam or any of those websites to see where I can get the best line. But Nicholas Claxton, I think, is 15 for 15 in his last 15 games. His steals plus blocks, typically the line is like at 2.5, I think, and I think it's juice right now. I think
minus 140 right now.
Minus 140. So
the best line I can see for blocks, the best line I can see is 1.5 minus 189.
God damn, minus 189. Okay, so steals plus blocks though, minus 140.
You know what I mean, sort of thing. If you want to put that in with a piece with a team that you think is going to win, that's a 7-point favorite or something, or you think your Gary Trent's going to go up for 20 points, then maybe drop it down to 15 and throw in that. Might be something worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. What book did you mind telling me what book you see that on, Mitch? I mean, I can look it up.
Yes, sir. So I'm over here, Claxton steals and blocks. I see minus 143. Minus 154 Caesars, 150 BetMGM, minus 143 on Betano. But that's a Canadian book. That's super slow with everything. That's the one when I'm sharing my lines late at night for that. I picked up the Lakers they opened it at 228 and a half last night. So I hopped on that over, and when I looked this morning, it's up at 235. So this Canadian book's real slow, but
I'm gonna have to send you some money, Mitch.
150 to 160 for steals and blocks, and for blocks, I'm seeing around 200 on every other book that's not this Betano one.
Okay.
Minus 190 on DraftKings.
Damn. Okay, it was 165 earlier. So I was just happening to going through and like trying to figure out an angle for this game, and Claxton legit, like this dude, I won't really pay attention to it, but he had 3 blocks against the Miami Heat the other night. He had 5 blocks and 1 steal against the Pelicans. He had 3 blocks and 1 steal against the Bulls. He had 3 blocks against the Spurs. He had 6 blocks against the Hornets and 1 steal. He had 6 blocks against Atlanta. I'm like, where do I be at when all this be going on? 2 blocks and 1 steal against the Cavs, 3 steals and no blocks against the Bucks, 2 blocks and 1 steal against the Warriors, 3 blocks against Detroit, 6 blocks against Toronto with a steal as well. Like it's kind of crazy what he's been doing recently.
Talking steals and blocks, and especially for this game, you got Derek White, right? Who's had a block in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight games, and he's got multiple blocks in 5 of those. So his steals and blocks is at minus 111 for 1.5. He's cleared that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his last 8.
Okay.
So there's another one. 7 of his last 8, and there's 8 of his last 12. 8 of his last. Sorry. 7 of his last 8 and 10 of his last 11. So something to look at for Derek White steals and blocks.
Nice. Yeah, he should see the increased minutes tonight too without Jaylen Brown being there. Okay.
And like we said the other night, without KD, there could be some hiccups on offense for the Brooklyn Nets.
All right. Appreciate you,
Yes,
Mitch. Your insight, my brother. Let me kick it to the Brain. I don't think Brain's been up here before. What up, Brain? How you doing, man? Or maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Go. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's up?
What you got?
I want to add a LaMelo Ball assist.
Okay.
From 8.5 is minus 110 right now. Then it goes 10 assists is 145. 12 assists is plus 400. And 14 assists is plus 50. The research I got on it is the last game versus the Raptors, he had 14 assists. In the last 6 games, this season, he got 14, 8, 12, 12, 6, and 11 assists. And in the last 8 road games, he got 12 plus assists.
Okay. So LaMelo laddering his assist tonight?
Yes.
In a fast-paced game? Okay. I can see it, man. Best of luck to you. I hope you cash it.
Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Let me kick it to Tall Black Genius. What up, Tall Black Genius? It's been a minute since you've been here, my brother. What's going on?
Yo, ChrisBeCappinn, what up? It's the Tall Black Genius, upstate New York, representing conspiracy bets. I love the revenge angle because isn't that the greatest conspiracy, right? The revenge angle is Kyrie Irving tonight, but his under and over is at 29.5 points. So it is really a risk to take Kyrie to have a quality performance. But understand, Kyrie Irving does have 2 40-point games against the Boston Celtics, So he has performed and showed out against his team. this is the number 1 versus the number 2, right, Chris? I'm pretty sure you gave everybody the 1-2 circle around. Understand, there's one player on the Brooklyn Nets who's played a few games against the Boston Celtics. This player's averaged 14.7 points against the Boston Celtics, but he's never played them in his New Jersey. I'm talking about Ben Simmons, Chris. They got Ben Simmons at 8.5 points tonight. No Kevin Durant. That's a nice dribble, drive, slam dunk for our man Ben Simmons, you know. Less than 6 years in the league. This man, he hasn't reached his prime yet, Chris. Give him an opportunity to ball out with his new team. Ben Simmons, 15 points tonight, Chris. It's plus 700. Whoa, Vandal. Plus 650. Down to plus 650 now. We're talking about Ben Simmons plus 15 points. It's a long shot, Chris. Yeah, I see the laughing emojis. If there's any X factor tonight for the Brooklyn Nets, Chris, I'm going to be on Ben Simmons over 8.5 at even money. Ben Simmons 10 points on FanDuel is plus 120, and that is official. It's the Tall Black G's, man. He averages 14.7, Chris. Go check Stat News. Hey, man. Hakeem Sports, all you guys, man. I appreciate the handicapping community. ChrisBeCappinn, we live on YouTube. I see you, man. Keep getting it. Tall Black G's. Peace.
My God, appreciate you, Tall Black Genius. Ben Simmons, man. If somebody looking for that X factor and don't think it's gonna be Kyrie, man. 8.5 points, 10 points. Tall Black Genius said 15 is some crazy odds. So yeah, take with that information and do what you may, man. I told you guys, I'll do a quick recap real quick before I get out of here. I don't have any more requests anyway. Official plays for me. Let me just go back in my sheet. It was real quick. Philadelphia, first half, minus the 5.5. Like I said, I do expect a double-digit lead or somewhere close for the Philadelphia 76ers in the first half. And then I expect the Thunder to kind of, keep it close in the second half. Like I said, they are they're the best third-quarter team in the NBA this year so far as point differential. So Philly first half, minus the 5.5 is my favorite spread pick. Nothing for me on the Nets in the Celtics game. Bucks in the Heat game, also a game that I'm not interested in, even though I do have a strong look towards I have a strong look towards the Milwaukee Bucks first quarter team total over 24.5. I feel like the number is a tad bit too low just because Giannis has been rolled out. I think that the Bucks are capable of scoring 25 points in the first quarter against an overrated Miami Heat defense. So got that one sitting in my best slip. Haven't hit the button on that one yet. And then the Cavs and the Blazers, like I said, strong lean towards the Blazers for me, but don't really feel like I want to be able to back them in this spot. Or definitely can't back the Cavs as away favorites, especially with a short number. So off of that game, but we'll look towards Simon's points. I think that he has an offensive explosion here soon, so that's where I would look there. And then Thomas Bryant double-double. Really like it a lot. Posted it on my timeline if you guys want to go look at it. Also posted a detail, write-up with a little more detail in the chalkboard as well. So if you guys want the chalkboard, I see my guy RC in here. Ski's in here as well. RC, Ronald Kabang, Hakeem Prophet, and Finesse the Books. We all co-host the chalkboard community for the new people. If you guys want access to that, shoot me a DM, shoot Ski a DM or Ronald a DM, and we get you guys the link to that. And then the Laker game, like I said, Thomas Bryant double-double already posted. Probably gonna get there on the first half, man. I really like the Lakers catching points, a point and a half in the first half. I think the Lakers winning the game at the end of the first half, and probably end up winning the game outright, man. Mavs are not good at beating teams twice that they've already beaten once, and the Lakers are 3-0 ATS revenging same season losses so far this year against the spread and straight up. So I like the Lakers, the better team right now, anyway, in my estimation, over the last 5-10 games. So I'm probably going to play them first half, but I haven't put that in yet. Those are my looks for today. Best of luck to you guys. Also, really like what Mitch just said about Brogdon, especially without Jaylen Brown being in. I do like that look a lot. So that's what I got for you guys today. Back in the morning to break down the card for Friday. Best of luck to you guys on all your action, and I am out.